Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. It is actually Saturday for me, and it was such a gorgeous, gorgeous day this morning. Look at the clouds and the sky and the wind. A little tiny bit of coolness. We're supposed to have a cold front coming through, so we'll see if it gets any colder. I went ahead this morning and did a lot of weeding, a lot of cleaning up. There's not really anything to show you from Thursday with the seedlings. Nothing has popped up yet, so we'll keep an eye on those this week. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look at what I did. I think I'm gonna go out and plant some seeds. And I started a new thing of celery. So it is Thursday, and it is a gorgeous, 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 gorgeous day in my garden. I'm gonna start some seeds. I'm gonna try to get ahead of the game and be ready for my spring garden. So let's see what I'm going to plant today. I'm going to plant some snow peas, some onions, some spinach, and some lettuce. Yes, I got tired of waiting for the kale. So here are my seed starters. I started them last night, so they're all ready to go. I got this little box for, I think it was under $4 or around $4. I'm going to be using the 2 buckets that held the cauliflower, and I'm going to use those for the lettuce and the spinach. I'm going to put the lettuce in one, and I'm going to put the spinach in the other. And after watching some videos this morning, particularly in iGardener, I am going to put the seeds right into the pots without starting them first. And he did a really good explanation for doing that. It had to do with the seeds thinning themselves out and spaces that they grow, and that once you do it from seed, they sort of take care of themselves. If you actually plant the plant, then it doesn't do such a great job. So, you know, he said it much prettier. You know how he is with his words. So that's what's going to go into those buckets. I'll be using the seed starters for the onions and the peas, and I'm going to plant the lettuce and the spinach right into the buckets. So let's get started. I'm going to put two peas in each one. All right, and I labeled them with the peas and the onions. Go stick them on the shelf. Alright, so I stuck these up here, way up on the top shelf. So they're sort of hiding up there. And I'll just slowly work them down shelf by shelf as they start to sprout. I'm going to now head over and plant the lettuce and the spinach. Alright, so you can't see them because they're so tiny, but what I did was I just sprinkled the lettuce seeds all over the bucket, kind of like I had did the kale, and I did the same thing with the spinach. And now I'm going to come back and just put like an inch worth of topsoil on the top of it, give it a little bit of water, and wait. These are ready to go. I went ahead and put the clean topsoil on them and misted it with the mister, so they got all nice and soaked without disturbing anything. So we get our first little warmth of the season here, and we are cleaning the pool area and getting it all ready and open. Hubby is working hard, and it's gonna work nice. I can't wait. And he took this down so he could get in there and clean, so I thought I'd give you a nice view of how the bird cage was doing. The heather's growing real nice in it. The flowers, look at that, the flowers are still flowering. The climbing Jenny has really taken off. Yeah, it looks really nice. I'm really happy with it. I've been putting the live air plants in there, and they're continuing to grow. So yeah. I just see my ugly recyclers, but the plant's pretty. Take a quick moment to show you the lily plant. I'll be watering this today. Also, in my lovely elephant container. It's my grandparents. Things that I love to hold on to. I thought we would go ahead also and take a quick look, because I haven't been over here in a while, except to just pick herbs for dinner. And here is the lemon balm. It is really not doing what I thought it would do. It is so funny to go compare the bucket of love over there to this little mess. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do here. This definitely needs watered. Thyme is looking good. Basil looks like something's kind of eating it. But I definitely need to get over here and water this. Rosemary is going off. Yeah. Oh, and the dill finally died. So I'm going to get some more dill seeds going also. I have been harvesting the lemon balm, and it is doing very well. Many people ask me what I use the lemon balm for. I use the lemon balm to add to my moringa tea in the morning. Lemon balm has a lot of great soothing qualities, both for your stomach and for your mood. So I also, every once in a while, when Ricky has a really bad meltdown, I'll come out and pull a couple of these leaves off and make him eat them. And it seems to calm him down a little bit. Doesn't always pull him right out of the meltdown, but it definitely helps. So let's look at the potatoes. What I did this morning was such a gorgeous morning. I went through and added some more dirt. So the dirt level now is almost up to the top. Still have a couple more inches. So everything's looking really good. So happy about the potatoes. I did the same thing with the carrots. I went through and weeded out all of the grass and the weeds and added some, a little bit more fertilizer and some soil. I did the same thing for the cabbage, cutting off some of the dead leaves. And the lettuce, the kale, excuse me, the kale. Oh, here's what I missed. Did the same thing. I went through and tried to pull out all these little weeds and grass, and seemed to make a difference. Cleaned it up, so I'm hoping that that and the added dirt and fertilizer will get these things going. They won't have to compete so much with the weeds. So that's great. And then here are some more peppers that just kept sprouting out of that pot. This, however, I am going to claim as a tomato. I don't know where it came from. And I'm really hoping the rest of these don't turn into what looks like a tomato. I don't know where they would have come from. They had to have come from the pepper tops that we threw in there, because that was a clean pot of soil, and I don't remember putting any tomatoes in there. So did the same thing with the celery. Cleaned up all the bed. Added some fertilizer, a little bit of dirt. Peppers. The peppers were covered with this lovely... peppers were covered with this lovely fungus. So I just kind of went through and trimmed everything down and see if those will come back. And what I'll do is I'll have these two pots for the peppers, and I may come back. I have some seeds that I got off of the first peppers of this plant, so I may plant them in there and see if they grow. The vertical garden is doing really well. You can see now, you can see how nice and thick these stems are growing, and we planted these and the pot at the same time over there, the hanging pot, and I guess because these only have, you know, a few in here, they were able to grow much bigger and stronger. So they're doing really well. We have nothing on any seedlings that have popped up from what I planted on Thursday. Cleaned up the broccoli a little bit. I'm going to keep letting it go so I get these little broccoli sprouts that are kind of coming off of here everywhere. I don't know how much, you know, longer I guess it depends when I need the pots, is how long I'll let those go. I cleaned up the tomato plants. Still absolutely no ripening on the first Roma tomato, and I've still just been enjoying the cherry tomatoes. Here's what I was saying. So here's the cherry tomatoes, and this is the one that, if you remember, we went back and I said this was the bucket of mess, or whatever I called it, the sorriest looking thing, and it's doing very pretty. And it's sort of, I guess, weeding itself out. The stronger ones are coming through, and the smaller ones are kind of dying off. But yeah. So back over here to the pumpkins. So we had originally started planting the pumpkin plants all the way over here. After watering it, I did see some new growth on the plants. But again, yeah, I don't know. I mean, so definitely the rabbits are probably over here eating it. That is definitely an issue. But you can see that once I did water it for a few days, there is a little bit of new growth coming up. I don't know that it's enough for me to try to be over here watering this all the time. My hose doesn't actually reach all the way. I need to get a longer hose, which may be why these over here died quicker than these over here, because they were getting a little bit more watering. Here is the cauliflower. It is starting to sort of, it's like hard as a rock. It's starting to look different. I don't know what to say. And oh, here is my celery. Now here, I thought this was a good test to see what the rabbits were eating, because if the rabbits are going to eat something, they're going to come over and eat these celery leaves, right? And so far they're still here. So yeah, I'm excited about that, but you can see the new growth coming up from those pumpkins, but I'm just going to let them be. Whatever happens, happens. Alright, so now that I did all this cleaning up, I am going to go ahead and do some heavy watering today. Today on Saturdays, I like to really water the plants fully, get the water all the way down into the roots, and just kind of let it dry out during the week. I was watching My Gardener, and he was explaining that when you water just the top surface a little bit, and it's only the couple inches that are constantly getting watered, that they tend to sprout weeds more quickly. So I try to do that. When I water the plants, I try to hit the water off the side of the buckets here, and that kind of floods the bucket without sort of destroying the more delicate plants like the carrots and such. So that's a little tip on watering. I hope you enjoyed my garden update. I hope I have lots more to show you next week. I hope we have lots of little green little sproutings everywhere to show you. So in the meantime, have a great week. We'll see you real soon.